Good afternoon. I'm Julie Chatman, the Chief Information Security Officer, and I'm here today to share the cybersecurity and resilience strategy with you, but also to engage in some information sharing and facilitate dialogue that we will need to come to some decision points that will propel our business forward. I'll begin with an overview, an executive summary. And the information I'll share as we go along will put some additional tone and texture into the white paper that I shared last week with the board, adding a little detail, if you will. So I'll go over the roadmap. I'll go over the ways that the cybersecurity team will deliver value quickly and iteratively. I'll talk about business implications that were associated with cyber risks that are uncovered by the KPMG strategic assessments. I'll talk about our current resilience capability and where we'd like to be. And again, finally, I will share some comparisons in terms of options for implementation of the strategy and facilitate discussion so that we can come to some key decisions today. Starting from the top, I'll pause here to say that my goal and the goal of my team has always remained to be a partner to the business and enable the business. And the objectives of the cybersecurity and resilience strategy feed into that goal. They're fourfold: protecting our company's most valuable assets, providing a future-ready cybersecurity services suite in order to support the business, lowering those risk levels to within tolerance, but definitely to support the business and our needs as a business. And then, of course, evolving our cyber resilience capabilities. The KPMG strategic assessments were very valuable because the outputs were actionable, directly actionable, and we were able to create 10 strategic initiatives and also 4 options to implement. And here you can see the 10 strategic initiatives and the options. Bottom line up front is that my team and our KPMG partners recommend option D. It's the most cost-effective. It gets us to our goal. It supports business enablement. So we'll be looking for a decision by the end of the discussion. This underscores the idea that the cyber practitioners completely understand and are leaning into the business goals, right? We know growth and transformation. For example, we know the desire is to expand delivery capability for the products and services we already have and build new capability for new products and services, new offerings, as well as increase profitability by driving down those operating costs. So the IT and OT folks recently got their approval for their business forward digital activities plan. So they're going to update and deconflict existing applications, launch new ones, complete the cloud migration, and update the India data center. And cybersecurity will provide future-ready services, frictionless application, cloud and data center security, and data protection. All of these plans and activities leaning into maximizing profits for our business, protecting our brand and our reputation, and protecting our customers' data. This is our journey, our roadmap. We're getting ready to go into April 2022, and we're right around 1.6, and this is on a 5-point scale. And so we have our milestones to meet our capability maturity targets. We have phased risk reduction, right? Phase 1 will be very foundational. This involves things like identifying and protecting our crown jewels, making sure that our security culture, our cybersecurity culture is fit for purpose. Cyber hygiene is really important. The people in our organization are a big part of our cybersecurity apparatus, right, and function. In phase 2, we start to sprint. We talk about things like network segmentation, vulnerability management, shore up our governance. And then upon completing phase 2, we're in a good position. We're at 3.0, and we're ready to sprint and run into phase 3, where we are fit for purpose and Phase 3 completes in December 2025, a month ahead of the business plan, which has the milestones for January 2026. So all of the infrastructure and the security and the risk management will be in place right when the business needs it. This is showing how we deliver value quickly and iteratively. We're going to have regular, short, and rapid cycles with clear targets and metrics within each cycle, appropriate oversight from the board, from the ARC, from the Cybersecurity Steering Committee, and we're going to get that feedback. We're going to course correct as needed, and we're going to make sure that we're headed in the right direction. These are the business implications connected to the cybersecurity risks that were uncovered as a result of the KPMG strategic assessments. State-sponsored actors, cybercrime gangs, the risk of those attacks are very high. The residual risk that comes with credible threat scenarios, we have 10 threat scenarios, and 8 of those, the risks that we have are out of tolerance. And keeping in mind that residual risk is what's left over after we apply our controls. So let's look at an example. So these are the 10 threat scenarios. S1 is a great one because it's about our crown jewels. That's heavy. So this is a threat actor getting past our security controls, getting into the network and starting to move around, figuring out our crown jewels and having at it. We can see here that S1 is probable and the impact to us would be extreme. And this is after us applying all our controls. So this is of concern. We have 3 of these that are very high and 5 that are high, and that's outside of what the board approved for the organizational risk tolerance, okay? So keep these threat scenarios in mind as we pivot to the next slide. So here I've distilled the scenarios down to their most basic so what, right? So for example, S1 is basically crown jewel, compromise. S8 was the medical devices IoT. S6 was business email compromise. So this is just the very basic so what of each of those. And we get a little bit of an undercover view of the controls assessment that KPMG did for us. They did a red, amber, green. And as you can see, if you look at S1, when it comes to prevention and detection, we're not doing all that well, but we're doing okay with respond and recover. Current risk remains high. And here are the activities that we can do as an organization to bring that risk down, right? And so that's how all of this works. So all of these activities are meant to address the gaps in the controls and the impact of the scenarios that we're likely to face as a business. And all of these activities fall under one of 10 strategic initiatives. If we implement the strategic initiatives, we can move from being high and very high risk and out of tolerance to low and medium risk within tolerance and propel our business forward, maximize profitability, protect our brand and our reputation, and our customer data. This is where we stand now in terms of cyber resilience capabilities. Cyber resilience is our ability to snap back after some sort of attack or compromise and continue our business operations. As you can see here, we've got some work to do in all 3 pillars, right? So we have design, build, and operate. And enterprise and security architecture, we need to do some work. In app security engineering, we need to do some work. We need to get better at detecting something once it's already happened. And we need to improve the pillars that our cyber resilience stands on: governance, risk management, cybersecurity culture and hygiene, third-party security risk management, and our compliance with regulatory requirements and policies. This is how we want to look, right? We want to be in the green. We want to have low, medium risk to low risk. So taking a look at our options, we can always do nothing, right? It will cost us nothing in terms of CapEx and OpEx, but it'll cost us something. Our risk status remains really high. Our capabilities remain really low, and we're not enabling business growth and digital transformation. So the team does not recommend this option. Options B and C They're partial implementations. The costs are a little bit less than option D. However, the capabilities and the risks are still not where we want to be for the type of business that we want to be by 2026 in January. So the team does not recommend this. The team recommends option D, full implementation of the strategic initiatives, CapEx at 5.6, OpEx at 2, very good ROI to achieve 3.9, low risk, business growth and digital transformation are enabled. So at this point, I'll open up the floor for discussion and decision making.